My name is Muhammad Izzuddin bin Zahar, and my ID number 9711231055690001, and I'm studying in Bachelor of Military Management with Hannes. By the way, I will talk about innovation and the basic type of innovation. First of all, for your information, innovation is the process and outcome of creating something new, which is also of value. Innovation involves the whole process from opportunity identification, ideation, or invention to development, prototyping, production, marketing, and sales. While entrepreneurship only need to involve commercialization and innovation is something original and more effective, and as a consequence new that break into the market or society. Normally, innovation often manifests itself via the engineering process. When the problem being solved is of a technical or scientific nature, while a novel device is often described as an innovation in economic management science and other fields of practice and analysis. Innovation is generally considered to be the result of a process that brings together various novel ideas in such as a way that they affect society. However, innovation is divided by four types, which are breakthrough innovation, sustaining innovation, basic research, and disruptive innovation. Breakthrough innovation. As mentioned, the definition we have seen for breakthrough innovation are quite diverse. For example, some use it as a synonym for disruptive innovation, where others refer to it as a specific significant technological advance that make a large impact on the efficiency or cost of a given product, service, or process. However, what virtually all of these definitions have in common is that breakthrough innovation is considered to be something that fundamentally change the dynamic of a given industry or market. Second, sustaining innovation. Sustaining innovation, also called routine innovation, refer to innovation that happen on an incremental basis, often in responses to customer and market demand or improvement in technology. Breakthrough innovation represent a significant step forward, usually in technology, that set a product or service offering far ahead of the competition. Similarly, disruptive innovations that brand ahead of the competition through simplicity and mass market appeal. Both breakthrough and disruptive innovation are important to your long-term strategy, but they provide a very narrow profit margin on their own. Besides, sustaining innovation is important because while we tend to give great attention to disruptive and breakthrough innovation, sustaining innovation is where established companies experience higher profit. We spend much less on research and development and on promotion to sell it. The organization should include both disruptive and sustaining innovation in innovation strategy. One should not be abound for the others. However, the argument here is that you experience a higher profit margin through your sustaining innovation strategy, making it a critical area for managers focused on profitable growth strategy. Many companies that we think of today as great innovators have grown through sustaining innovation by building on success and improving their offering based on a customer market need awareness. Basic research. Path-breaking innovation never arrive full form. They always begin with the discovery of some new phenomenon. No one could guess how Einstein discovery would shape the world, or that Alan Turing universal computer will someday become a real thing. As Neil deGrasse Tyson said when asked about the impact of a major discovery, "I don't know, but we'll probably test it." To his point, Einstein's discoveries now play an essential role in technologies ranging from nuclear energy to computer technologies and GPS satellites. Some large enterprises like IBM and Prod have the resources to invest in lab to pursue basic research. Others, like Experian Data Lab, encourage research and engineers to go to conference and hold internal seminar on what they learn. Google invite about 30 top research to spend a sabbatical year at the company and fund 250 academic projects annually. Yet one of the best kept secret is how even small and medium-sized enterprises can access world-class research. The federal government fund a variety of programs such as the Holy Manufacturing Extension Partnership, a series of manufacturing hubs to help develop advanced technologies, and organ design work. Local universities which have a wealth of scientific talent can also be a valuable resource. Taking steps to participate in this type of program can help small business compete in competitive market. For example, Mike Whitesome of Navitas, a 4-year-old battery company that joined the Joint Center for Energy Storage Research, JCESR, as an affiliate, told me, as a small company, we are fighting for our survival on a daily basis. Becoming a JCSR affiliate gives us an early peek at technology, and you and you get to give feedback about what kind of manufacturing issues are likely to come up with any particular chemistry. So clearly, being able to reach out to scientific on the cutting edge can help a business plan for the future. Just as the other approach, such as design thinking, open innovation, business model innovation, and others can help propel a business forward if applied in the right context. Dist- Disruptive innovation. When HBS Professor Clayton Christensen introduced the concept of disruptive innovation in his book The Innovator Dilemma, it was a revelation. In his study of why good firms fail, he found that what is normally considered bad practice, listening to customers, investing in continuous improvement, and focusing on the bottom line, can be lethal in some situations. In a nutshell, what he discovered is what when the basis of competition changes because of technological shift or other changes in the marketplace, companies can find themselves getting better and better at things people want less and less. That happen. Innovating your product won't help. You have to innovate your business model. More recently, Steve Black has developed the startup method, and Alex Oxwelder has created to light the business model canvas and value proposition canvas. These are all essential assets for anyone who find themselves in the situation Christensen described, and they are proven to be effective in a wide variety of contexts. Description of the 4 cases. Breakthrough innovation. The iPhone. One of the best side examples of breakthrough innovation on the tech front is the first iPhone. By harnessing new technology, Apple was able to bring a fundamentally new product to market, creating new demand in the process. Dyson. Not least of breakthrough innovation would be complete without including Dyson. The world's first bedless vacuum cleaner is based on an existing business model, but the company harnessed new technology to substantially improve the market offering. This same approach is what behind Dyson called the company less friend. Microsoft. Microsoft has also reworked its business model to develop a breakthrough innovation in the form of Office 365. This saw the company go from selling its Office suite as a product, paid for one-off basis, to offering it as a monthly or annual subscription. Sustaining innovation. A sustaining innovation improves existing product. It does not create new market or value market, but develop existing one with better value, allowing companies to compete against each other, sustaining improvement. Scholar and innovation expert Clayton Christensen explained it this way. Example of sustaining innovation is Pfizer, the world's biggest pharmaceutical company by revenues. Hawk noted the company's ongoing success with blockbuster medicine and vaccine with household names such as Zithromet, Lipitor, and Viagra. The company was founded in 1849 as a manufacturer of fine chemicals, and a year later, it discovered terbinafine automatically, launching the company's successful and ongoing expansion into a research-based pharmaceutical company. It augmented its research by building its brand, pipeline, and profile through major acquisition. Disruptive innovation. Steel mini mills. Mini mill dramatically disrupt the steel industry once dominated by the great integrated steel company of the 20th century. The traditional steel company at the time manufactured a wide range of steel qualities. They made low margin on cheap rebar, but also produced sheet steel and thicker structures still used to make car and equipment, which they then sold at a much higher margin. Then came the mini mill. Small companies found a way to melt down scrap metal recycled from car and manufacturing waste, which was up to 20% cheaper than what the integrated mill were spending. But the metal product was poor quality, suited for rebar but not cars. Rebar is at the bottom of the steel market, and since it was a low margin product, integrated steel companies were happy to lock it off the bottom for their product line and leave the mini mill to compete with one another. By 1979, mini mill has driven the last of the integrated mill out of the rebar market, and the price of rebar had dropped by 20%. But mini mill didn't stop there. They figured out how to make slightly higher quality steel and came for the net lowest prototype, which integrated steel mill once again were happy to live to mini mill. After all, this will allow to the integrated steel mill to focus on higher margin steel and improve their profit margin even more. Streaming. Video streaming on platforms like Hulu and HBO might seem like an obvious improvement over cable and blockbuster, but take a closer look and it's clear how radical this disruption really was. Video streaming took the entertainment industry completely by surprise, quietly rising from the bottom of the market as a low-cost way for people to watch shows and movies to eventually disrupting the cable industry and driving video rental store in the ground. Netflix has become the largest subscription video provider in the US, outstripping cable and satellite. And it's not just cable and store video streaming companies are changing the way video is produced. Nearly 2 decades after Netflix launched, streaming providers are out to capture the entire $1 trillion Hollywood ecosystem. With new content production model, tech giants like Amazon, Google and Apple want in on the game with their own production and streaming platform. Like many disruptors, Netflix took hold in a small niche market. Movie buffs who did not care about new release and did not mind waiting a few days for DVD to arrive in the mail. Slow and did not offer brand new hype right away. Blockbusters serve a different type of customer that rent more impulse and prioritize new release, and therefore is now Netflix. Smartphone and their accompanying business model disrupt laptop as the primary were consumed as the internet. Today, well over half of website visits come from mobile phone instead of desktop computer. But even more importantly, smartphone and their app marketplace completely change how we interact with online service and product, which give rise to many services that did not previously exist. Smartphone help illustrate some nuance about the disruption concept. For example, Apple iPhone is widely hailed as a disruptor, but it did not disrupt the smartphone market itself. At the same, it was an improvement on existing smartphone model and target the same customer, a hallmark of sustaining innovation. Christensen himself predict that the iPhone will be a flop because he recognized it as a sustained innovation in the space. But the iPhone did spread widely as a disruption. It just disrupted something completely unexpected, the laptop market. Apple used the iPhone to usher in a new business model, which let developers far and wide create applications and connect directly with consumers. This changed the way people access the web and create a new market of app users and phone users. Smartphones started giving laptops a run for their money as the most popular way to use the internet. Innovation that started in compete in quality and price with film cameras roughly 20 years ago. Today, cell phone cameras have disrupted the photography market as a whole, fundamentally refining what it means to take a photo and who has access to his type of technology. Kodak engineer Steve Sasser invented the digital camera in the 1970s, but the company rejected it. Sasser said it was filmless photography, so management reaction was that skewed, but don't tell anyone about it. As Roberto Saracco described this moment, many at Kodak and elsewhere were convinced that it was just a crude version of photography that would have never affected the well-established photography market. Indeed, cell phone cameras were crude at first, much like the early transistor radios, but people used them anyway because phones were in the palm of their hand and incredibly convenient. We are now. And each year, cell phone camera quality gets better. Today, Apple has a shot on the iPhone billboard campaign that prominently display high-quality photos taken by everyday consumers on their iPhone. A far cry from highly sought after expert photographers who were the only one with access of the proper equipment to produce a great shot. Conclusion: open innovation communities go further by experimenting with new business models for profit and non-profit into different financing models such as crowdfunding. This evolving ecosystem has a great potential for organizations and companies to tap into the immense knowledge that an organization can hardly provide on its own. It has developed products directly with consumer and benefit service. The logic of open innovation also provides a path for organizations to avoid the innovation gap. Are willing to bear the consequences such as an open source culture and other new models as cooperation. They can keep us with the rapid pace of innovation and equality establish new form of communication structure. Open innovation is a process to shift an organization or company to a different mindset of exchanging. It is not a tool that can just be implemented over the same communication backdrop on which a company normally works. Rather, it is a different way of communication, including people and valuing their right environment and incentive to let people and change as much as possible and brainstorming in all directions. Empowering people does not make us weaker. On the contrary, it makes us richer as we benefit from what others do with the empowerment. Information technology help business, government, and individuals increase their efficiency and effectiveness. Rapid improvement in hardware and processing ability force consumers to purchase new relevant technology on a market level. This rapid turnover creates demand. From a firm perspective, however, this can result in a lower customer retention rate. Regardless, organizations are continuing to demand innovative technology solutions, leaving room for new entrants, particularly those with a unique concept. Firms who are able to find a niche market or one with low competition will find this industry attractive. Barrier to entry remain high when entering existing market, therefore most potential entrants will be find the overall industry unattractive.